you get the likeness okay?
I'm actually bigger than that. I'm retiring.
Well, in that case, what are we drinking?
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy?
Don't move.
We need to get out of here.
Stop!
Sorry.
Helena!
Dr. Jones, get him.
Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all.
You stole it.
Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
This way!
Fasten your seatbelts. There might be some turbulence.
You've taken your chances, made your mistakes. And now a final triumph.
Give him hell, Indiana Jones!
A few times in my life, I've seen things. I've been tortured with voodoo. Been shot 9 times, including once by your father.
Sorry!
Indiana Jones 5 doesn't quite match the highs that came before, but with Ford's assured performance at its center, it's still an entertaining ride. This is our review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Enjoy and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Perhaps one of the biggest question marks during this summer's movie season is James Mangold's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's the latest installment in a beloved franchise, though its predecessor, 2008's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, is seen by many as a blemish on the series' reputation. Additionally, Dial of Destiny is the first in the franchise to not be directed by Steven Spielberg, and with those two factors combined, it's led to uncertainty over whether the newest movie can restore some glory to the property. With star Harrison Ford adamant that this is his last one as the iconic archaeologist, the stakes are high. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny doesn't quite match the highs that came before it, but with Ford's assured performance at its center, it's still an entertaining and nostalgic ride. Dial of Destiny begins in the past, as a prologue set in 1944 reveals Indiana Jones's Ford first brush with the franchise's latest MacGuffin, the Antikythera. He stumbles upon it while trying to recover another artifact stolen by the Nazis, and his discovery also leads him to clash with Jürgen Voller, Mads Mikkelsen, a scientist fascinated by the opportunities the Antikythera provides. Created by Archimedes, it's said this mysterious dial can manipulate time. Years later, in 1969, Indiana is approaching retirement and facing a world where everyone is looking ahead to the future instead of back at the past. His now quiet and admittedly lonely life is turned upside down by the arrival of his goddaughter, Helena Shaw, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who wishes to recover the Antikythera once again, albeit not for the same reasons as Indy. As Voller, now working for NASA's space program, is still looking for it as well, Indy and Helena must race to stop him from getting it and enacting his devastating plans. In the past, the Indiana Jones franchise has often combined grounded adventure with the fantastical, perhaps exemplified best in the first movie, where the search for the Ark of the Covenant leads to many Nazis having their faces melted. However, the fantastical still felt grounded. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull took things further by introducing aliens, a controversial move that still gets mocked. Dial of Destiny runs the risk of similar criticisms due to the eponymous artifact, which involves another sci-fi trope, time travel. To say more would be to run the risk of spoilers. though it's safe to say that this adventure fits Indiana Jones better than Aliens ever did. Dial of Destiny forces Indy to reckon with the notion that he himself is a relic from the past. Now alone in a world where space is the exciting new frontier, it is clear that Indy feels adrift. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is at its best when it is plumbing the depths of its titular hero, and that comes through especially well in his relationship with Helena. Screenwriters Jez Butterworth and John Henry Butterworth, along with co-writers David Koepp and Mangold, portray Indy's arc with sensitivity and respect. The character work is solid, but the Dial-specific plot occasionally runs the risk of getting convoluted as Indiana and Helena dash around trying to get ahead of Voller. For example, there's a brief excursion involving a boat captain played by Antonio Banderas that, while providing a fun opportunity to let Banderas join the Indiana Jones franchise, doesn't add much to Dial of Destiny's overall story. Perhaps one of the least surprising elements of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is Ford's performance, seeing as he's played this character to great success 4 times before. Nevertheless, there's something fresh and delightful about his portrayal here. He still nails Indy's wisecracks and whip cracks, but he also seems to relish in the character's quieter, more reflective moments. This is an Indiana Jones who has lost quite a lot, and Ford is superb, especially in the final act as he confronts it all. Don't worry though, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny still provides plenty of the humorous moments the franchise is known for. Outside of Ford, Mangold assembled a great cast for Dial of Destiny, with Waller-Bridge especially deserving credit for how skillfully she goes toe-to-toe with her formidable co-star. As Helena, she's a very different type of female lead for the franchise, and her initially self-serving demeanor sets up a great dynamic with Indy. Mikkelsen has already proven his talent for playing villains several times over, but he's especially chilly as the scarily determined Voller, even if his character is somewhat one-note. Dial of Destiny doesn't have Short Round, but it does introduce a new child sidekick in Ethan Isidore's Teddy. While his character isn't as endearing as Short Round and doesn't make as strong of an impression, he is a solid addition to Indy and Helena's partnership. Dial of Destiny also includes some familiar faces from past Indiana Jones movies, and it's impossible to ignore the fond feelings of nostalgia that creep up upon seeing them. Dial of Destiny has some big shoes to fill, seeing as the original Indiana Jones trilogy is often considered one of the best ever made. In many ways, the new film plays the old hits from past movies, whether that be the inclusion of Nazis, giving Indy ample opportunity to punch them, or plenty of chill-inducing creepy crawlies. This lends an air of nostalgia to the film and runs the risk of reminding us that we enjoyed the previous films better. Thankfully, Mangold proves more than up to the task of taking over from Spielberg, directing the action sequences with an energetic deftness and demonstrating his understanding of Indy's character through his arc. Plus, John Williams' score is as sweeping and epic as one would expect, eliciting chills from the first moment his iconic theme is heard. But Dial of Destiny falls short of the highs of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, mostly because these movies have a charm that is difficult to replicate after so many years. However, it is certainly a step up from the much-maligned Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which felt like the Jumping the Shark installment of the franchise. With Indy in what certainly feels like his last adventure, Mangold imbues the movie with a gravitas that its predecessor was lacking, and that lends some extra emotion, even when the plot strains towards silliness. Where Dial of Destiny takes Indiana. Jones might rankle plenty of viewers, but thanks to Ford's performance and Mangold's guidance, it pulls itself back from the brink of another shark-jumping adventure. Ultimately, while not reaching the same level of success as the original movies, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a fun adventure that brings Indy's story to a fitting close. It's the ideal kind of summer action movie, the kind that gets a bit silly and baffling, but still brings plenty of heart and humor. Those who have stuck with Indy since his very first outing should find things to love here. At the very least, Ford's final performance in the role is not to be missed. Whether Indiana Jones will live on beyond this installment remains to be seen, but Mangold has offered up a definitive conclusion worthy of the iconic hero.